For this week's episode, we would take a look into what hybrid learning is all about at Huntley High School. Next, we have an exciting piece on HHS's own club, Snow Raiders. We will also take a look at a quick recap of January 2021. Good morning, HHS. I'm Belin, and today is Friday, February 5th, 2021. And without further ado, let's get into our first story. We've officially completed 2 weeks of hybrid learning, but what does that really mean? RNN Reporter Paige DeSimone got an insider look with HHS Principal Dr. Belin.
Hey, what's up HHS? This is Dr. Belin, and I'm here to talk a little bit about our hybrid learning model. So hybrid learning allows for our students to be able to come into a building and be able to get their education, just kind of a step up of what we were doing remotely. And structurally, not much changes. The only thing that really changes is the place, right? Like instead of waking up at home and sitting in your bed and going to class like you're actually in the school building, kind of was what we would expect school to be. We have about 1,600 students that have elected to go hybrid, which is about 53 to 54% of our student population. We have had some students since this first week transition to remote, but we also too have a waiting list of students who are wanting to come hybrid, and we're going to reevaluate that over the next couple of weeks to see if after we made these shifts of students to hybrid, if that opened up some spaces for students who want to come in to come in. This is the first step that we're taking to get back into the building, to get back to some level of normalcy, right? And if we don't start now, and if we don't start at least transitioning into school and what school could look like, then we're never going to get there, right? I think this opportunity to have students be able to come in and kind of get that school experience still while navigating through a pandemic is just as important, but it also too gives those students who are here a sense of normalcy of just school. I think it's going to be successful. We're still trying to work out some things. It's not as easy as one would think, right? Trying to manage, especially teachers managing Zoom in the classroom, as well as students who are in person. And so there's some of that stuff that we're continuing to work on. But I think over time, just like we didn't know what remote was going to look like and being on Zoom, teachers perfected that and they did an awesome job at it, as well as students. And so now this is just another layer of like, okay, now we got to do in person and on Zoom at the same time. Like our goal is to give students the best learning experience possible, whether they're remote or hybrid. Even when they're here, while it may not look and feel like Huntley High School, where a hall has 3,000 kids and we're all sitting together in the cafeteria just hanging out and people coming and going, this and that. Like again, like I stated, this is the first step to getting back. And so the reality is, and while people have lost a lot in so many different ways, like getting us back to that sense of we got this, we can do this, and we can fight through this is the most important thing. But the goal is, school is still school. We want kids to continue to engage and work, even though I know it's hard and challenging. Don't let the academics go by the wayside just because of a pandemic.
It is important to hear the administration's perspective on hybrid learning. However, it is imperative in that we hear your perspectives as well, Red Raiders. RNN reporter Blake Buczkiewicz interviewed a few hybrid students to ask them about their experiences so far.
What motivated me to go back to school was I wanted to see more friends, and I wanted to get back into the productivity of school instead of sitting in my room all day.
Going to hybrid, I really had very limited concerns over kind of how school was going to be run. I knew they had plans. I looked at the plans, I read the pamphlets. There were some things I was a little confused. Cafeteria was something that I was like, is that like gonna be how it's always gonna go? And it doesn't seem quite as bad as I thought it would be initially, so that makes me a lot happier. Otherwise, going into it, I didn't really have any concerns like with mask wearing or like sanitizing or like the desks and all that stuff.
I feel very safe with all the precautions that the school has been taking to keep us safe.
I would say that I am not at all disappointed with how hybrid has been run here at the high school. I mean, I'm going to school. I'm seeing my friends, I'm seeing my teachers, and I'm learning. So, that's always a step up. Remote never really worked out for me that well. Like, sure, I got the content, but my grades were kind of going a little bit down, and I'm already noticing improvements because of how hybrid is going. So I'm not at all disappointed.
At the time, I don't think all students should come back because there'd be too many kids crammed into the building. But eventually, I feel that all kids should come back.
Thank you, Blake and Paige, for sharing these stories. One of the few clubs that has been able to meet in person this school year has been Snowboard and Skiing Club, Snow Raiders. RNN reporter Logan Young talked to sponsor Angela Zaliski and a few of the other club members to find out more.
The Snow Raiders is a social club. We do not compete. The club is all about taking whatever level people are at and getting better. So whether someone's been skiing or snowboarding since they were little, we hope that they can gain some new skills. And if people have never done it before, we just want them to get comfortable and excited about winter.
So my favorite thing about Snow Raiders is like the fun things we get to do. Like we got to wear onesies one time on a ski trip, so that was a lot of fun. And dinner time at Alpine. Chicken tenders, highly recommend it.
I joined the Snow Raiders Club because, one, I get a discount, I get to spend time with friends, and it helps me organize times to go snowboarding. And normally we'll have a bus, which means my parents don't have to drive me and stay there the entire time.
So basically, if you join the club through the school, you get to buy a club card, which is valid Sunday through Friday after 3 p.m. and it basically takes off a big portion of the money. So you basically get rewarded for joining the club, and you have more options to go ski for a less price.
High school is all about trying new things, and although you might not like the cold and have never thought about it before, we highly encourage you to give Snow Raiders a try during your high school experience.
Unfortunately, as Ms. Zaleski said, you are no longer able to join Snow Raiders this year, but we hope you join them on the slopes next year. Ty is going to be giving us the weather update for this week.
Hi Raiders, I'm Ty Goodrich and I'll be your weatherman today. Let's take a look at this weekend's forecast. This Saturday, we'll see a high of 13 degrees during the day and -1 degrees at night. On Sunday, we will see a drop in temperature, with a high of only 3 degrees during the day and a low of -13 in the night. Both days will be mostly cloudy as well. This weekend's ice-cold forecast doesn't leave too much room for building snowmen or going sledding, but it is a great weekend to make some chili and watch the Super Bowl from the comfort of your own couch, that's for sure. If you do need to venture outside, remember to stay safe. Back to you, Bella.
And to wrap up this week's episode, I am going to be giving you a quick recap of what has been happening in the U.S. so far. On January 6th, protesters gathered around the White House to get their voices heard. Later, the U.S. Defense Department labeling the event as a violent attack on the U.S. Capitol. Former President Donald Trump was impeached on January 13th of 2021. President Joe Biden was officially sworn into office on January 20th, 2021 after winning the 2020 presidential election by the Electoral College. In the last few weeks of January, Reddit users caused an uproar in the stock market after online trading for GameStop and AMC went to the moon. And for some local COVID information, COVID vaccine shots are currently starting to be administered to teachers in some counties, including our very own starting February 11th. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode. I hope to see you all in the near future. This was Bella Doles, and I'm signing out.